Hey guys, Chris with Dot3D here. Looking forward to putting to the test the new combination of Dot3D Prime and the Emlid Reach RX. This combination of high accuracy, affordable iOS LiDAR scanning, high accuracy, affordable GNSS receiver are going to be paired for a scan today of a simple stretch of trail here at Diamond Hill State Park, and we'll see how it does. This is especially useful for any scenario where you want to get long stretches of outdoor scanning and not necessarily have to rely on loop closure or survey control to get accurate data, because you can automatically tie in real time to the trajectory of your GNSS receiver. So let's give it a go and switch over to the phone now.
So first things first, we're going to open up the Emlid Flow application and establish a connection to the Reach RX via our N-Trip credentials, which have already been entered in this case, and you can see the connection is now live on the top right of the screen. And the longer you hold the device still, the more you'll see that connection strengthen, which is a good practice before you start your scan. Also, before we start our scan, we're going to switch over to iOS Bluetooth settings and make sure we do see two RX connections here. If one of them is not already connected, just tap to connect it, and then you'll be ready to switch over to Dot3D and start your scan. To first verify the connection, you want to go to Settings, GNSS, and Geo Settings, and then make sure that the Emlid Reach RX is selected and press Test Connection. If the connection is successful, you're good to go. If not, you can always try restarting both applications and double checking your Bluetooth connections as well. So now it's time to start scanning with the Emlid Reach RX. So I press the new scan button on my Dot3D home screen to initialize my camera and get ready to start my scan. The first thing you'll be prompted to do in any Dot3D scan is slowly move around the scene to initialize the camera until that green bar fills up. Now we can verify our RTK connection by tapping the satellite icon at the top left of the screen at any point in time, where we see we have a high quality RTK fixed signal, and we're ready to start our scan by pressing the green button on the bottom of the screen. Now with my connection live and active, I can just freely walk this long stretch of trail, knowing that my live RTK feed is being read into Dot3D the entire time I'm scanning. This will not only geoposition my data very accurately based on this high accuracy GNSS receiver, but it will also intelligently adjust for any drift throughout my scan over a long outdoor scan by recognizing the trajectory of my Reach RX. So in this case, I don't necessarily have to start and finish at the same area for loop closure, which is normally a very strongly recommended practice for Dot3D users, and always something you would do if you can, but in this case for a long stretch of trail, trench, railway. These are scenarios where that really doesn't necessarily make a lot of sense, and where the GNSS receiver or the RTK device can be very helpful. So I'm just going to walk this whole stretch of trail until I get to the end, and then finish my scan, just monitoring to make sure that my RTK feed is live the whole time. I take an HD photograph here, just as an example of how you might want to document this particular trail feature, and can take my time on important areas, or otherwise just walk the whole thing straight away. Which is exactly what I'm going to do now as we go ahead and skip forward for your convenience and finish at the end of this trail. So now that we've reached the end of our scan, we simply press the bottom center button again to finish. And there we have it, our complete scan of this entire stretch of trail immediately rendered in its unoptimized format. So this is not the final result in any scan, especially in this one, as we have not applied the GNSS signal yet. To do so, you can either proceed to the optimize button and follow the prompts to fit your GNSS, or you can navigate from the menu to GNSS and then press the button to fit GNSS trajectory. Now that the trajectory has been fit, you can see the quality of the signal throughout your scan, noticing that we had nice green, high quality signal at the beginning, some stretches under tree cover where it went to red, orange, yellow, and optimally some green again at the end, which is certainly ideal in the course of a long single direction scan like this. It's great to have green quality at the beginning and the end whenever possible, which is sometimes up to you if you can reach an area of clear sky, sometimes totally out of your control depending on the quality of whatever service you're utilizing in whatever geographic location. No matter what, Dot3D is going to take all of that into account automatically. As you move forward to the Optimize tab, You should typically leave the GNSS constraint strength on the default setting here of 52. Just press Optimize Scene for that all to be taken into account automatically. We've of course sped up the optimization here for your convenience, but the real-time on-device optimization for this scan was still only 2 minutes total. Now let's go ahead and take a look at our fully optimized, accuracy improved data set. So you can double tap to change the center of rotation to zoom in on different areas of your scan and take a look at all of the detail that we've captured in full color 3D of this trail. So this is a simple example of how you might utilize Dot3D for long-scale outdoor scanning with the Emlid Reach RX. Other examples include long trenches, railways, roadways, bridges, utilities, crash scenes, and really any particular outdoor scene that is large scale and not necessarily practical for you to either close the loop or apply survey controlled targets throughout. So in addition to the automatic accuracy improvement, what else do we gain from the georeferencing of this data set via RTK? If I go to the menu, view, map, we're going to see exactly where this took place on a map of the world, showing exactly where I traversed with Dot3D and my Reach RX. Next, we're going to go ahead and bring the full 3D data set into our geospatial software and see how it pops into the right place there as well. To do so, you want to either save or export from your File, Save As, or Export button. So we exported this to an LAS file in meters, and we're dragging and dropping it straight into QGIS mapping software. QGIS is an example of the many places you can go with your Dot3D data as a point cloud file, or as a GeoTIFF if you prefer to work in a scaled image format. We can see we have a lot of detail preserved in this LAS file, and we can zoom out to see where the entire scan fits on the trail network here at Diamond Hill. Overall, I'd consider this a very successful test of a powerful new workflow for large-scale outdoor scanning. This feature is currently in beta, but is expected to be fully released very soon. For more information, please visit www.dot3d.app.